if you could explain it or describe it in just a few words, how would you describe the prime effect?
I'd say the first thing, it's a lot because, again, if you look at, what he's done here, I think even you look at our stadium, and there's more color in our stadium than we've had in the past. And when we go on the road, we're helping fill stadiums all over the country, and they're in CU logoed apparel. You look at Shadur's first start that he had for the Cleveland Browns in the preseason. I saw more Colorado gear than I did anything else other than the Browns. And so, it's that kind of effect. It's, he's one of the best athletes in the history of sports in this country. And you see this 20 some years or 30 years after, 20 years after he's played, and he's still a prominent name and a prominent figure in the sports world. And he and I talk about this, and we laugh about this all the time. There's people that love him, and there's people that don't like him. And those people help. They're watching the games, they're doing the things, and how can you not love this guy? I mean, look what he's been through in his life, to this point, and what he just went through. And he maintains this even keel about himself that, he's got his faith that's really important to him, and he leans on that in really tough times and good times. And he does the right things, and he's been an incredible ambassador for this department and this university and our program.
It certainly has, man. And the things that he has sacrificed personally just to coach football, I don't think anybody can question, his dedication to it. There are all kind of rumors out there that once his sons left, he was going to stop coaching. I think when you see, as you know, what he went through this summer and what he's still going through to be here, I think he's here, man. He's happy.
Yeah, look, I think he and I share a lot in common. As I said, when we were going through this process of hiring, there were people behind the scenes like a Cordell Stewart that I didn't know had a relationship. And he's telling Coach that, I recruited him, and, you can trust Rick and those kind of things. And we're both old school. And I think that makes a lot of sense. Our faith is important to both of us. We share a lot of same commonalities, and we're passionate about young people. And that's one thing. If you come here at Colorado, you're going to have somebody that's going to take you from a young man to a grown-up in 2 to 3 to 4 years. And he's going to instill that in you. He holds them accountable. We've never had a GPA as high as we've had since he's been here. And the graduation rates that he's pushing out are incredible, because it's important to him that his young men that come here are really focused on getting that degree, because let's don't lose sight of that. With all the changes in college athletics, we still need these young men and women that compete in sports and college athletics to get their degree, get their education, and make sure that the 4 years that they're in college sets them up for the next 40. That's our goal at Colorado.
Rick, you talked about some changes there, and this is going into my third season with Coach Prime here in Colorado. And one thing I can tell you, if you come every 6 months, you're going to see something new that you didn't see before. The new Jumbotron, whether it's a turf field. And in that regard, what's next? Like what's rolling out that you can let us look behind the curtain, changes wise, is going to take place programmatically, or whether it's physical in the stadium or just operations?
Well, look, we already talked about this pop-up porta potty for Coach Prime, so that'll be the next thing. It may be the first time in history that you have a sponsorship deal around something like that. But look, our focus now is we've really got to focus on making our department budget right. We've got to, when you infuse a $20.5 million number into your budget from one year to the next, you got to be very thoughtful about how you go about that, because you can't do it all in expense cuts. Raising, revenue another 20 million in 1 year is very challenging. But we've got an incredible Board of Regents and our president and our chancellor, and we've got a lot of support in our community. And so we're really focused on growing our revenue, creating partnerships that are meaningful for our young men and women. The above the cap for our young men and women that play and compete here at CU. So our focus is really on that piece right now. We've done some really good things. We need to fix the west side of our football stadium, which I hope to do in the next 3 to 5 years. And we've got an event center that's getting older that we need to fix. So there's some things that we're doing. Seems like every year we do something that is meaningful and impactful. I can tell you the two things I'm most proud of at Colorado, and Coach Prime is in that group. But the two other things are the facility that we built here, the Champions Center, I think is second to none. It's attached to the indoor practice facility. We've got the whole Crawford Family Student Athlete Program that is really based on data science and allowing us to prevent injuries and to bring our student athletes back quicker. So we're going to make sure that those programs are robust and still in place. And one promise I made to all of our student athletes when this House settlement came up is that we're not going to go backwards in the support services that we provide you, whether it's psychological health performance, whether it's strength and conditioning, nutrition, all those different things, academic support. We're going to be robust in that. We're going to continue to grow those. And then again, we've got to go out and find ways and creative ways to generate more revenue to allow us to compete at the very highest level, because we all know, in the next 3 to 5 to 7 years, there's going to be another change in college athletics. And my job is to make sure that we're in a position to be in those conversations as we move forward. And Coach Prime has certainly helped that.
Yes, indeed. Hey,
I'm sorry, that was a lot. So I mean,
No, that was
get me going. Let's go.
That's what I love every word of it.
I was going to talk about bridging the gap between the legacy buffs and the fans and all of the fans that came in with Coach Prime. He's coming in not just as a head coach, but as himself, as a celebrity. And you brought in a lot of people who have probably never watched Colorado football or college football, period. But they're coming in. How did you bridge that gap between the legacy buffs and the fans and Coach Prime fans?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think both the legacy buffs and those that came in with Coach Prime all want the same thing. They want to see him successful, right? And they want to see this program back to the relevance. I mean, a lot of people, because of the last 15 years, we haven't been relevant in college football. But we have an incredible history and tradition of how this football program's excelled and thrived, and winning a national championship in 1991. We had some glory years in there. Between 87 and 94 when Coach left, and all the way up to when Coach Barnett left. So we have that history and tradition. And again, I think it's the commonality. I mean, I will tell you, the first game that Coach came out and Lil Wayne's in there singing on the mic, as they're coming out. I mean, that was a little bit of a shock to me too, because I didn't know that was coming. So I'm like, oh hell, here we go. It was a lot of fun, but you never know what you're going to get when you come to CU football games. And our student body has been incredible. They've embraced it. I think everybody's embraced each other, whether you're legacy or those new ones coming in. We want to provide a great experience for you, and I think Coach is on board with that. And I just think it's really kind of worked really well together. And it's really fun when we go on the road, because we're meeting new people that aren't from Boulder that are going to our games in all these different areas. And, next year when we go to Atlanta to play Georgia Tech, that's going to be a lot of fun, because, it kind of brings Coach back to his roots down in the Southeast and this team. And we've got a lot of players on our team from that area. And we're excited that Georgia Tech's coming in here on Friday next week. And that was by design. We all knew that. We both shared the national championship in 1991, and I think now we've got 2 years to settle it on the field.
Hey, Dukes, what about that though? What about that?
Oh, that's super tough. That's super
They know
tough.
They know where to find it at now. They've been loving it in the chat. All they gotta do is go to unclechico.myshopify.com, get all the Morning Run merch you can handle.
It's the Morning Run.